Good evening. A big welcome to all of our NeoLife community online this evening, and a very special welcome to all of our guests who are calling into their very first NeoLife Nutrition webinar. Right now, this call is streaming live to every city across South Africa, and I can see through the beauty of technology, we have people online from the UK, we got people online from Kenya, Uganda, and USA. Fantastic. My name is Drew McDermott, and tonight I have a very special guest with me, Dr. Barry Bland. And our wish for you on this call tonight is that you leave this call with information that is going to empower you, your family, your children to great health and great vitality. And just something very interesting that I read a little while ago. In a recent survey, degeneration of the brain and its associated diseases was ranked as one of the highest health concerns amongst the surveyed group. And like other chronic diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, degenerative diseases of the brain are on up. And when it comes to your brain, you want to be playing the prevention game. So we're going to get stuck right into it this evening, because I know Dr. Bland has some incredible information for you. But Dr. Bland, you come from a medical background, and before you get started on the brain information, can you very quickly just tell us where your interest in nutrition comes from?
Good evening, guys. Thanks, Andrew. I'm a doctor, specialized in anesthetics. I had no interest in nutritional supplementation. But what happened for me was I got sick, I got hepatitis B, and I was very unwell. And Pat, my wife, insisted that I take a whole bunch of stuff. And I could feel the difference. And that's what changed my mind about nutritional supplementation. So if you're skeptical, that's good. It's always good to be skeptical. But, you know, I think one of the things about this particular range of products is that it is high quality, well researched, and as this slide says, based in nature, but backed by science. And it was the science that really attracted me in the end. So we haven't got long, so I'm going to get straight onto it. This is what we're going to be looking at for our brain health, starting right at the very beginning. Probably prior to conception is always a good place to start, but you know, the youngsters, you might well have a problem with ADD or ADHD. And then as we get older, perhaps more into the depression areas, and older still, perhaps memory and exams and requiring to keep things agile. And then, of course, I think what really concerns a lot of us, either personally or within our family, is the aging of the brain and how that perhaps we can protect against it and perhaps sort out something that's on the go right now. So, ADHD and ADD, these are just some nice pictures, I think, that just give you an idea. Don't worry about those bullet points on the side. It you know, might be a little confusing, some of the words, but really the left-hand side of that screen shows a normal active brain, and on the right, the brain of an ADHD patient. Now, it's just an indication of the things that are now available and that can be looked at. And I think one of the big things, if you do look at that bottom bullet point, the PET scan shows decreased glucose metabolism throughout the brain. And I think one of the big things in ADD kids is to try and keep the sugar away. And of course, that can be a problem with the youngsters. You can see that the glucose levels that happen along the bottom in that graph. The high glycemic index, in other words, the meals that have a lot of sugar in them, and then what we can expect and how we should really aim to eat is to keep your blood sugars within that green. So, that works. And I think that glycemic control zone is important throughout life, but certainly in the youngsters, to try and keep their concentration going throughout the day. So, are there things that can help? Absolutely. I believe the omega-3 salmon oil is vital for these guys' brains. In fact, for all of our brains, and throughout life. But, helping a child have good brain development starts in the womb, and the mother should be taking omega-3 during that time. One of the things about our salmon oil plus is that it is incredibly pure. It's tested for over 200 different contaminants, and if there are any of those in a batch, in the raw materials when they come in, that batch is rejected. So I have 3 daughters and 8 grandkids, and I made sure that my daughters were taking the omega-3s throughout their pregnancies because it was important for the development of the brain. But as far as ADD and ADHD, I would certainly look at using the salmon oil. As I say, there are different qualities that you can get, and often price is a factor. And here, we have really the best. It works incredibly well. The shake I would recommend in these youngsters, because it is important for them, that will help to keep their blood sugars stable within that green area that you saw in the previous slide. So make sure that the kids are getting that first thing in the morning as they head off to school. And you'll find often that will help their concentration throughout the day. Another major thing that is researched, and lots of research done on it, is calcium and magnesium. And again, our CalMag with vitamin D is a brilliant combination. And that gives the kids, along with the salmon, the salmon oil, just the calming effect that allows them to then concentrate. And that really does assist them. We do have these other options as far as snacks are concerned, because often that's the big problem with these youngsters. They go and snack sweet stuff. And that can be definitely a problem. And here is something that's very tasty and will help to keep their blood sugars down. Again, high quality stuff, really is. Depression and the brain. I guess we all get depressed one way or another, but obviously there are some that are pathological. And this is obviously one person's brain that is scanned over a period of time. And it shows you on the different days just what's happening in the brain. And that's a very clear indication that changes occur in the brain. And there are ways of helping that person to sort out and keep things under control. You'll see a common thread right throughout this, because I do believe the salmon oil, the omega-3 oils, are vital for normal health of the brain. And, the salmon oil, the omega-3s are termed the happy fats, because they do have an ability to change mood, and will certainly help in all sorts of situations like this. Then, of course, B-Co, vitamin B-Co. This is a high-quality, slow-release vitamin B that is well absorbed and is important for the normal feeding of the brain. This might sound a little strange. Our acidophilus is our probiotic, and it really, you might think, well, how can that really make much difference to my depression? But in fact, a lot of the research going on right now is showing that what's going on in the abdomen, what's going on in the bowel, is very, very important as far as the benefits that can happen in people who are depressed. And so they're starting to call them psychobiotics, because they do change the way people think and deal with things. Another thing I do believe is important, and that is a general multivitamin and mineral. This is a unique product because of the treonine oils, but overall, it provides that foundation to make sure that there are no deficiencies as being part of the problem that is, you're trying to sort out. So, we can make a difference there. It really can. And then, of course, as our kids are getting ready for exams, we're trying to concentrate or, focus on different things as we go through life. And again, you'll see the common thread. Along comes the omega-3. It really does help with memory. And that's throughout life. Yes, it's useful to a person who's involved in trying to learn, swat up for exams and that sort of thing. But also it is important, as we'll see, in the aging aspect of it as well. So salmon oil, I believe, is a major part of a program that I would use for someone who is looking to improve their ability to function and remember things. One of the things that happens when you are studying for an exam is that you snack. And again, the shake, the Neolife protein shake, which is a high quality, all 22 amino acids involved there, that will give you all that you need to help in your normal good health, but also helps to keep your blood sugars down. And particularly when you're studying, you don't want the big swings of up and down blood sugars. And to go with that, I do believe that the Formula 4 Plus, which is a multivitamin and mineral supplement with the treonine oils that are vital for normal good health, improves your metabolism, improves your energy levels, and will certainly assist in you being able to go through an exam and remember things. And then we also have a range of herbs, and particularly the mind enhancement for people at both ends of the age scale. I had a man who I suggested he take his mind enhancement because he was trying to get his master's certificate to sail out of Durban Harbour. And he started taking it. And then he said to me, my grandson has ADD. Do you think it would help him? And so I said, well, sure, give it and see the response, because it's certainly not going to be harmful to him. He phoned me one Sunday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, I just spent 20 minutes with my grandson on my lap, and he's been reading to me. Now, that hasn't happened before. So the herbs can be a very useful adjunct to helping, as you've seen, a number of the different brain-related situations. And then, as I say, often what we do get concerned about, particularly as we age ourselves, but is the aging of the brain. And again, here is a nice PET scan of a number of different brains, and just how they look differently. They physically are different. And as you can see, you start literally losing some of the brain as you get older. And this is a factor where the brain shrinks as we get older. So it is something that we do need to be aware of And is there something we can do about it? Well, absolutely. We go with the salmon oil again, time and time again, and particularly in the early stages of things like Alzheimer's, that the omega-3 have been shown to help in improving cognitive function. And there are other things as well that we'll come to as well. So omega-3 is something that I would really look at for good brain health throughout life. But again, there are certain particular situations as we age, and you want to keep that under control. Another thing to help maintain the good health of the brain, your antioxidants, because effectively what is causing the shrinking of the brain and the decrease in the number of cells in your brain are our normal aging processes. And those are mediated through particularly inflammation and oxidation. And the antioxidants, the carotenoids, and this was a world first when this came out, and it is an amazing product. It really provides all of the full range of the carotenoids that are available in our diets that are important to us, and to assist in keeping things with as little damage as possible. The US Department of Agriculture showed that the carotenoids would assist in preventing up to 44% of the oxidative damage at cellular level. Now, that may not mean anything to anybody, but I will tell you one thing. I use my carotenoids every day. I want to maintain the normal function of not only my brain, but all the rest of my body as well. And carotenoids have very definitely other areas, but we're talking about the brain this evening. Another thing would be the flavonoids. Now, the flavonoids are the water-soluble family, or compatriot, I should say, of the carotenoids. And the flavonoids, again, have been shown in a number of different areas to improve cognitive function in people who are already starting to have some problems. And I saw very recently some research showing that the flavonoids would actually assist in people who have a degree of loss of balance, and also in people who suffer with tinnitus, that high-pitched buzz in the ear that you sometimes get, and particularly as people get older. So, you know, what all you're looking at are things that are going to assist in preventing or slowing down the aging of the brain. And then, of course, the Formula 4. I do believe we just need to consistently do those things over a long period of time. And the longer you go, the better. So I've talked about a number of different products, but you know, it's I think one of the things that I feel very comfortable about is recommending people using the Neolife range of products. I would hate to walk into a health store to try and make a reasonable program for myself, even with what I have learned over the last 30 odd years. But here is a situation where we can be very confident. The Scientific Advisory Board has 8 experts in that panel, and they have put together amazing things for us and makes it easy to have the choices. So whoever invited you to have a look, they'll be able to give you a little bit more information about the various things that are there. I'm going to stop there. I've had my time. I trust it has been of use to you, and I'm sure we'll speak again.
Thank you. Dr. Bland, thank you for being our guest speaker this evening. Much appreciated. And I just want to thank every one of you for being on the call tonight with us. If you're a guest and you'd like more information, or if you'd like to get your hands on some Neolife nutrition, please get back to the person who sent you the webinar link this evening. Our mission at Neolife is to make the world a healthier and a happier place and to end the trend of chronic disease. And we know that we cannot do this on our own. We need your help in achieving this mission. So I'm going to ask you a big favor to please share Neolife with people you care about. I'll be sending out a recording of this webinar, and this could really be life-changing information for somebody that you know. So often, Dr. Bland touched on this, I see people standing in front of the supermarket shelves or the pharmacy shelves staring at the rows and rows of supplements, and they just look so confused. And normally they purchase something based on price, or they purchase something based on branding or what it looks like. And normally they take home something that is synthetic or something that isn't going to do what they intended to do. And so I trust this information tonight has been of value to you, and I hope that you decide to make Neolife your nutrition home, a place where you can come and get your questions answered, and you can get good whole food nutrition that is based in nature, backed by science, without all the hype. Nutrition that will bridge your dietary or your nutritional gaps the way nature intended. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful evening, and I look forward to catching up with all of you on our next Neolife webinar. God bless.